highly recommend this book. It's called Caste, C-A-S-T-E. We've been taught to believe that racism is about some kind of feelings that we have against other people. But racism was born as a caste system in order to build the economy here in the United States, in order to build the roads, the farms, the buildings. If we could get free labor, that's right.
Get free labor out of it.
And the only way they could do that was by saying those people are not human. And that is still in the psychology of our country. And until reparations are made, that's right.
Immigrants now, you know what
that's
I'm saying?
Right.
It's like,
and it's still how we treat Black people in this country.
100%, 100%. Brown and Black people on a daily basis, because again, it's a caste system that is supposed to make white people think that they're superior to something in order to maintain the fact that they deserve a better income, a higher income, or to justify their generational wealth that they don't share. You know what I'm saying?
And or also, that they deserve to reap the benefits of the service of the Black and brown people that are working behind the wall in the kitchen at the restaurant, where you see the majority of workers that are in the front of house are majority white. They're the ones who are making tips. The people who are serving, and I'm not saying it's an easy job, it's a thankless job and it's a hard job to serve. The majority of them are white. The majority of them are working 4 to 6 hour shifts, when meanwhile the brown and Black people in the back of the house are working 12-hour shifts and making a quarter of what the people in the front of the house are making.
It also keeps like poor white folks in the working class in this delusional state where they blame Black and brown people or immigrants for their lack of opportunity.
That's right.
When in reality, capitalism and this trickle-down economics nonsense is what keeps us in that state, because higher ups will fire workforce to make more money.
Do you know something, Lauren?
Hire people who don't have papers, or they'll hire people because then they can exploit those people and not pay them sometimes, or pay them so below the minimum wage it's literally criminal.
The man, I learned this recently from Marianne Williamson, who I know you know as well, that and I cannot remember the gentleman's name who proposed the theory of trickle-down economics. When he proposed that theory, he said, and if we do this thing where we deregulate these companies that they can do what they want, if we do this trickle-down economics, then of course we're going to have to apply and give a universal basic income to every single person in the United States of America. And when it went through Congress, guess what part they took out?
The universal income.
That's right.
Because if we don't have inequality, they don't keep making money.
That's right. That's right. The very few at the top. So this is why this conversation, people may be like, well, how are these two conversations related? The way that the power and they're perfectly intersected, because the ways that the powers that be continue to thrive is by putting their boots on the necks of people who have been so traumatized for generations. And the way that the traumatized generations, Black and brown generations, communities, indigenous communities, LGBT communities are going to rise up is by healing their intergenerational trauma and remembering who they are, remembering that they are a gift, remembering that no person is better than them or more special than them, so that they can take care of themselves and that they can walk into the door, and every room they walk into, instead of believing, should I be here? I don't know if I should be here. Do I belong here? They walk into every room once they're healed saying, I am here and God sent me here, and I am here for a reason. And now that I'm here, I'm opening this door to everyone else behind me who wasn't allowed in this room beforehand. And so our mental health and developing our mental health as an individual is directly related to the economic, to our freedom. That's it.
It's directly, and I've been saying this, y'all who follow me and know me, you know that the thing that I always repeat to you is learn to love yourself.
Amen.
Figure out that relationship with yourself, because that is, I'm just such a firm believer that is the key to unlocking this next reality that I know we're going into, where it's a reality of self-actualization and community, where we
That's
care
right.
about each other, where we do not dispose of each other, where we do not dismiss each other and our mental health struggles that we have in a society that is so fucking far gone on the like we literally live to serve the higher ups. Like every single decision that's made that you think is of free will, it is not. Everything is orchestrated so that you make the 1% more money. That's right. It. And they have it's inexhaustible because it's never enough. You know, we have Jeff Bezos now, who's a trillionaire. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck needs to be a trillionaire? Who the fuck needs to be a trillionaire? Nobody needs to be a trillionaire.
That's right.
You know, people like to talk about, oh, he worked really hard. Great. You still don't need that money.
Especially if you're not going to pay your workers COVID risk pay and healthcare and all the things, like, and no federal taxes. Okay, so listen, like,
it's just if you guys don't see the scam, it's a scam.
Yeah.
So, it's just a scam,
right.
and the point of the scam, like the thing that drives the scam or keeps the scam alive, is us hating ourselves and believing that we are unworthy. That is what perpetuates the scam. It's like this that we got blinders on. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're out here thinking that it's us that's the issue. It's us that doesn't work hard enough. It's us that needs to work harder to get
shame.
It's shame. And they ingrained it into our parents so hard. And you know, generations before that didn't have access to the internet even. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the internet has really sparked a wave of connection that was never possible. You know what I'm saying? And you know, most people, humans, got their information in mass from these elites that ran things, right?
That's right.
Especially since the Industrial Revolution began. And so you have these very few people up top literally creating narratives to cause panic or to mimic or to mock safety. You know what I'm saying? Or like convince you that doing this will make you safer or doing this will endanger you, so that they can empower the state and they can make their pockets grow. That's right. That's all that they care about. They do not care about human life. Actually, that's why they in the same breath that they say that they're pro-life, they also are pro-death penalty.
That's
you know what I'm saying? It's because the more heads that they have, the more dollar signs they see.
That's right.
That's why they're anti-abortion. You know
right. Pro-life, but pro-private industrialized prisons. Taking life for free labor. Pro-war.
Pro-war.
That's right.
They have no problem with us bombing X amount of Arab countries.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They have no problem with they hate refugees. You know, and
all because the biggest moneymaker for private industry in this country is military, right? So we spend approximately $800 billion annually.
Of our tax dollars, of our money.
Right, let's remember that. Who's paying for that shit? We are. So they spend about $800 billion annually on the military, when I think it was, what's his name? I can't remember. This Harvard economist said $100 billion.
Is it Richard Reich? Richard.
Oh no, I love him. I love him. Robert. Somebody else, Sachs, Jeffrey Sachs, maybe, I can't remember, said he did this. He said that $100 billion spent over 10 years could eradicate poverty from the face of the planet. $100 billion spent over 10 years methodically could eradicate poverty from the planet. We spend 8 times that much to fight wars that we don't need to be in.
Proxy wars for oil.
Yeah. So the way that we end this shenanigan is by becoming a connected constituency of people who wake up to recognize again our own power, to recognize that we matter, to recognize that they have no power unless we give it to them, and then connect with each other. And the thing is, in this day and age where there's so much divisiveness, is we have to slow down to recognize we are so much more the same than we are different, right? And it's when we slow down enough to learn to listen to each other, to have compassion for each other, as you said before, to stop denying each other and start accepting each other and start becoming the people for others that we need for ourselves, then we have the opportunity to create a world that we really want to live in.
Right.
And that starts with you and me learning to slow down
and showing up for ourselves
and nurturing ourselves.
Yeah, that's because it's just a fact that if you don't love yourself, if you don't take the time to take care of yourself, if you don't have any concept of who you are and what you need, then how the hell are you going to meet anybody else's needs? You're projecting your ego.
That's right.
Well, and you want to control someone else and
you want to hear
care for someone else and do all this beautiful stuff for someone else. If you're not showing up for yourself, you're literally projecting your ego. I used to do that so much.
Yeah.
Where I thought I was being somebody's savior, and I've invested so much of myself into saving somebody, quote unquote, when really all I was doing was telling them they had to be a certain way in order for me to love them. And that's not real love.
Yeah.
You know what that a lot of people doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And where I'm aware that came from within me and where it comes from within most people is, as I was talking about earlier about that early childhood stuff, is that a lot of us had parents who weren't able to meet our emotional needs and nurture us. And when we were really, really, really young, if we noticed that mom wasn't doing so good, again, because of whatever was going on in her world or their world, if we noticed, for example, that mom's not doing so good, remember, my livelihood, my survivability as a young baby is completely reliant on my primary parents. So I cannot survive without them. They're my lifeline. Literally, without them, I die. And if they're not doing well, I might die. And so we realize it's my job to take care of them. I have to take care of them in order to survive. And therefore, I start doing all the, like, as I mentioned before, the goo-goo and the gaga and like trying to make sure that they're okay. And what I learned from a very young age is that it's my job to make other people be okay so that then I can be okay. And then I prioritize everybody above myself. I hide away my own needs. I literally abandon my own needs in order to meet the needs of another. So I say yes to all these people about shit I don't really want to do, or relationships that I know aren't really serving me, because then I feel safe. And so we have to rebuild this relationship with ourselves. We have to become the parent to ourselves that our parent wasn't able to be for us, not because they were bad or wrong, but because they were wounded. Right? So we have compassion for our parents.
Exactly. That's another thing. Today I was listening to, I follow this dope person named Quantum Casey, and she's always just giving like downloads. And one of the things she was talking about today that I just really resonated with was that she was communicating with, you know, a higher dimensional being, or this is, might go over some of your heads, but whatever. She was communicating with a higher dimensional being, and they were giving her downloads, and they were telling her about, they're a completely neutral species, right? So they're just completely neutral. When an emotion is sparked in them, they experience it and then it leaves them. You know what I'm saying? And so in their reality, the way that we view good and bad doesn't exist.
Right.
You know, everything is just temporary and an indicator of something that's going on, right? So there is no good or bad. Everything that exists comes from the same source of love. So people that you think are evil and people that you think are terrible and people like, I'm granted, there's a lot of people that I think are like, whoa, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? And those people, it's not because they are inherently made of other stuff than you are. It's that they've gotten so far distanced from their true nature and been like hijacked essentially by all of the programs that are running in this planet, that they forgot who they really are. They forgot where they really come from, which is where we all come from, which is from source, God,
love,
whatever you call it, you know, love. It is love. It is constant, just deliciousness and light. That is what we're supposed to be. That's what this realm can represent.
Yes.
But when you distance yourself from your truth, y te alejas tanto, and you just go so far away from who you really are, eventually you're training your mind and your body to stay in that state and to stay in that where you lose any connection with your real self.
That's right.
And these people that we see like Trump, these people that we see like Mitch McConnell, who I look at and I'm like, you're fucking heartless, bro. Like, you're literally heartless. Who the like, how do you live on the planet? You know what I'm saying? And it's that they were so denied the ability to express love that they're
and to
just
feel
so
love.
far away from that feeling. They don't understand it. They
That's
are so far away from, they don't love themselves. They don't know who they are. Everything that they are is inflated nothingness. You know what I'm saying? Grandiosity, narcissistic energy, all of those things. Like, they're all symptoms of not knowing yourself.
That's it.
And that's where we got to get to, is like, stop judging ourselves for being good or bad. That was a huge thing for me. I hated the idea that someone thought I was bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I compromised my health, my energy, my mental health, my sanity, so many things, just to look good for people, so that other people could see me and be like, oh, she's a good girl. Right. Oh, she's a good person. Oh, she's not a whore. Oh, she's not a slut. Oh, she's not, you know, a mean. Oh, she's not, you know, selfish, or she's not whatever it is that I didn't want to be associated with, because I thought they were bad things, you know? But then I realized people are always gonna talk shit, because people are always projecting their own insecurities onto light, onto people who embody their light, because they wish they could. They wish they could embody themselves as wholly and fully as you do. And I've always embodied my light since I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until people started telling me you're this and you're that and you're this and you're that, that I really lost myself. Yeah. I lost myself completely, because I was like, shit, they must fucking be right. I have so many people telling me that I'm this horrible thing or person, then they must be the ones that are right. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. So when you get back to yourself and you stop regarding whatever it is that you do in life as good or bad, that's when you can find your truth, because you're not preoccupied with how you're perceived. You are very in touch with your true essence, and you know who you are. You know what your intentions are, and you know what your intentions were. And granted, again, we've all been programmed since birth to be shitty to ourselves and to each other. That's what keeps these people making money. So yes, every single person on the planet that we're living on has made a mistake. Yes, every single person on the planet we're on has at one point been racist, or been this, or been that, or whatever, because it's what we were taught. It's not what we are, it's what we were taught. And so when we don't give people the space to evolve past these negative qualities, that's when we run into trouble. Because if someone doesn't feel like they can evolve past who they were, they're going to stay who they were. They're going to stay in that energy. They're going to stay around people who validate their shittiness. You know what I'm saying? And they're never going to, they don't feel embraced by light. They don't feel embraced by the concept of they can be better, and they can grow past who they were. You know what I'm saying? I think all of us love, in like these superhero movies or whatever, when the villain has a moment of clarity and it's like, oh my God, I've been a bad person.
They wake up.
They wake up. They come back to themselves. They come back to their essence, their actual essence of being, which is a being of light. We are here having a human experience, and we are not of this material world. We live in a material world to teach our souls some lessons.
But we're not from here.
But we're not from here. Yeah. You got to get real well acquainted with that. That's why all these religions exist, and that's why all of these thought schools exist and philosophies exist, because we have understood since the beginning of our existence that we are not of this realm.
That's right.
We are here to serve something bigger than ourselves. And in that, to me, is collective consciousness, collective raising of our vibration. That's the most important. That's your only mission, is for you to raise your own vibration. And you raising your own vibration, your energy is at a frequency that can no longer be deterred or affected by a lower vibration.
That's right.
So therefore, other lower vibrational frequencies either have to rise to meet you in order to interact, or they fall away from your life and you don't have to interact with them anymore.
That's right.
And that is the ripple effect that is going to get us to a higher state of consciousness that will make this world a healthier, less insufferable place for everyone.
More loving place. That's right. Oh, I could listen to you. I could listen to you all day. You are so tapped in. You're fully channeling. You are so speaking truth to power. And thank God that you are using your platform in this way, because we need you. And there's no more important conversation that we could be having right now about, you know, one thing you